The majority of millennials, 74%, are under the impression that millionaires receive their wealth through inheritance. That's understandable, given that saving $1 million on a $50,000 salary isn't simple. It will take a lifetime. Even $100,000 isn't going to do it. Rent, childcare, and food must all be taken care of at the same time. But it's not just subjective. Look at the figures. Self-made money accounts for about 80% of millionaires, and inheritance accounts for just 20% of them. In reality, just 16% inherited above $100,000. That's nowhere near enough to be financially independent. 97% of millionaires are the product of their own hard work. Only 3% of millionaires were born with more than $1 million. Your parents' financial support is wonderful, but money alone isn't enough. If you don't know how to handle your finances, you're doomed to fail. We have seen endless examples of people who inherited billions of dollars and went bankrupt. So, financial education is a great gift from your parents, but most adults aren't financially secure, so they give terrible financial advice to their kids. Besides, they are telling you what they believe is ideal. For instance, I love and respect my parents, yet they grew up in the USSR. Money was viewed as the root of all evil, and financial knowledge was non-existent. So they grew up with that attitude towards money and gave me the best guidance they could. But in today's capitalist world, that attitude is unacceptable. From what I gather, I wasn't the only one who has received lousy financial advice. The world looks different when you are raised in a difficult home. So in this video, I will tell you about 5 pieces of poor financial advice that my parents had given me, and perhaps even you as well. Once you're ready, hit the thumbs up and let's get started. Number 1. Good grades bring more money. My parents placed a high value on grades when I was a child. Every discussion with my parents revolved around my grades. I was a bad student from day one. I don't know why, but I despised school. But when you despise school, school despises you. Instead of helping a student improve, many teachers make it their mission to make them fail. As a teacher, your goal should be to enhance rather than detract from the lives of your students. Perhaps this is why so many children absolutely hate school. Now for my favorite part. Everyone expects you to know everything when you go to school. I'm here to learn. Why would I go to school if I already knew all this? Despite my best efforts to convince my parents that going to school was a waste of money and time, they insisted that a good grade would ensure a better future. You and I both know the truth. No one really cares about our academic performance. In the grand scheme of things, my grades don't mean anything at all. Neither my first employer, nor my first customers, nor my first real estate clients. It doesn't matter what I got in school. What matters is how interesting or useful this video is. That's the entire reason you're watching this video, not my school scores. The second bad advice is to avoid social gatherings. Don't worry about what you know. Knowing anything on Wikipedia is useless unless you know how to apply it. Humans are social beings. We can't survive alone. We achieve more when we collaborate. Consider this channel. Without a team behind it, this channel would not exist. Neither your iPhone or Amazon Prime would exist without group effort. Building something worthwhile requires being social, and the best method to improve your interpersonal skills is through attending social gatherings, such as parties or events, with friends. Keeping children as isolated as possible is a common parenting strategy. They grow up isolated from others, full of anxieties and with a lack of self-confidence. Attending parties or hanging out with friends is an important element of developing your character and talents to develop a strong business or career. Number 3. Be safe. Your parents adore you unconditionally. To them, you're their most priceless possession. Since they brought you into the world to feed and care for you, they've dedicated years of their lives to that task. When you work hard on something, it's normal that you want to protect it. That's why parents advise you to be cautious, to avoid unnecessary risks. If you go to college and work your way up the ladder, you'll be able to pay off your mortgage by the time you're 60, making you successful according to traditional norms. If you're lucky, you may even walk away with some money in your wallet. But that's not how the world works. In business, taking greater risk means more potential profit. Less risk, less return. When investing in government bonds, the best you can hope for is a return of 2%, which is less than inflation. This is a safe option. The stock market, on the other hand, can return 10% if you're willing to take a little more of a risk. As an extreme option, you may be able to quadruple your investment within a few months by investing in crypto. Though perhaps not financial advice, the message is that it's impossible to make substantial money by taking the safe route, nor should you accept risks that could cost you your life. You need to find a place where you both know what you're doing and where there's some risk involved. Number 4. You receive what you deserve. Allow me to disappoint you. Life is cruel. Working hard doesn't always pay off. You achieve what you struggle for. The truth is that it's harsh, but that's the way it is. Occasionally, you get what you deserve, but that's a rare occurrence. You may be working for a company for 2 decades and not get a raise unless you ask for it. Or you can have a boss who actually cares about you. I've seen it a lot, especially in the workplace. When it comes to the world of business, there is no such thing as an even playing field. Your competitors will always use drastic measures to destroy you. If you're not careful, your coworker may employ Machiavellian tactics to gain ahead of you. My advice is to let go of the concept that everything is equal in this world. It never was and never will be. Make yourself comfortable with the harshness of life. If you don't get what you deserve, instead of blaming the system, learn how to thrive in it. I'm sorry, but your parents were wrong. Number 5. Outperform your peers. This is perhaps the worst advice parents give their kids because it leads to financial ruin. Comparing you to other children and telling you, why can't you get good grades like the other kids in school? It teaches you to measure your own success against that of others. In other words, when your neighbor buys a better car, you go into debt to purchase one too. You fight to stay up with your peers. Ultimately, the goal is to be rich, not look richer. Everyone's circumstances are completely unique to them. It's important to recognize that everyone has various talents and weaknesses. A smart place to start is the stock market. Financial independence can only be achieved through wise investment. It is possible to learn anything about the stock market through websites like Skillshare. For serious investors and money growers, I highly recommend it. If you like this video, you will definitely like our other videos that can transform your life. Now show this video some love by giving it the thumbs up it so wonderfully deserves, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We appreciate you watching and we'll see you again soon.